before there were kings or crowns, before merchants weighed coins in bustling marketplaces, before humans even learned to stand upright. Gold already existed, and not just by a little. It had been here for billions of years before Earth itself took shape. To understand why, we must go far beyond our planet, beyond even our sun, to the very origins of the universe. When the Big Bang occurred around 13.8 billion years ago, only the simplest elements came into existence: helium and tiny traces of lithium. Heavier elements like iron, silver, and gold didn't exist yet. They required extreme cosmic conditions far beyond the reach of ordinary stellar processes. For decades, scientists theorized that gold was created in supernovae, the cataclysmic explosions that occur when massive stars reach the end of their lives. In these fiery deaths, the immense heat and neutron flux could forge heavier atoms and blast them into space. But there was a problem. Calculations showed that even the biggest supernovae couldn't account for the sheer amount of gold we see in the universe. Something else had to be at work. Then, in 2007, a breakthrough: astronomers using the LIGO and Virgo observatories detected gravitational waves, ripples in space-time predicted by Einstein, coming from an event called GW 550117. This was the first time humanity had witnessed two neutron stars colliding. Neutron stars are the ultra-dense remnants of massive stars that exploded long ago. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh billions of tons. When two of these titans crash together, the energy released is so great that it can forge enormous amounts of heavy elements, including gold. In that single collision, astronomers calculated that the universe had just minted gold equivalent to several Earth masses. Along with platinum and other precious metals, these newborn atoms were thrown out into space at incredible speeds. Over eons, they drifted through the galaxy, eventually mixing with clouds of gas and dust. Around 4.6 billion years ago, one such cloud collapsed under its own gravity, giving birth to our sun and the planets of our solar system. But here's the twist: when Earth was still molten in its early formation, the heavy elements, including gold, sank deep into the planet's core. The crust we live on was left with very little of it. If the story had ended there, gold would have remained forever out of reach, locked away beneath thousands of kilometers of solid rock. The gold we mine today, the gold in wedding rings, coins, and electronics, almost all of it arrived later, during a chaotic period between 4.1 and 3.8 billion years ago, known as the Late Heavy Bombardment. This was when the solar system was swarming with asteroids, many of which slammed into the young Earth. Some of these space rocks carried rich payloads of gold, platinum, and other metals, delivering them to our planet's surface like cosmic treasure drops. When you look at gold, you're not just seeing a metal, you're looking at stardust from an unimaginably violent event older than the Earth itself. Every flake and nugget is a fossil of the cosmos. Ancient civilizations seemed to sense this. The ancient Egyptians called gold the flesh of the gods. To the Incas, it was the sweat of the sun. In the Bible, gold adorned the Ark of the Covenant. Across cultures, gold wasn't just valuable, it was sacred, eternal, incorruptible, a fragment of the divine. Little did they know they were right, in a way that modern science has now confirmed. Gold is divine in its origin, born in the death of stars, scattered across light years, and hand-delivered by asteroids to the world we now call home. If gold is the child of dead stars, then diamonds are the children of fire and pressure, born in the most hostile depths of the Earth, but with a twist in their own cosmic story. Diamonds are pure carbon, but not the kind you find in charcoal or pencil lead. Their atoms are arranged in a structure so perfect that it makes them the hardest natural material known. But creating this crystal perfection requires an environment that almost never exists. Pressures 50,000 times greater than Earth's surface, and temperatures over 1000 DC. The Earth has only one natural place where this can happen: the mantle, about 150 to 200 kilometers below the surface. Here, over billions of years, ordinary carbon atoms from the planet's early composition or from subducted sea life are crushed and heated until they lock into diamond form. But they stay there, hidden in darkness, until something catastrophic brings them up. That something is a kimberlite eruption, one of the rarest and most violent volcanic events on Earth. Unlike the slow, oozing lava of Hawaii, kimberlite eruptions are like geological cannon blasts. They start deep in the mantle and rip upward at speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour, blasting diamond-bearing rock to the surface in explosive chimneys. Most diamonds found today are remnants of eruptions that happened over 1 billion years ago. But here's the fascinating part. Not all diamonds are of earthly origin. In 1987, scientists studying meteorites found microscopic diamonds embedded in them. These nanodiamonds, some no bigger than a few nanometers, were forged in space, possibly in the shock waves of supernovae or the collisions of asteroids. Later, in 2008, A meteorite found in Sudan called Almahata Sitta was found to contain diamonds much larger than nanoscopic size, suggesting they formed inside a protoplanet, an early, massive body in the solar system that was later destroyed. These spaceborne diamonds predate the Earth and could be over 4.5 billion years old. In other words, when you hold a meteorite diamond, you may be holding a relic of worlds that no longer exist. Ancient cultures revered diamonds for reasons they could never scientifically prove, but somehow intuited. In Hindu mythology, diamonds were said to be formed when lightning struck rock. The ancient Greeks believed diamonds were the tears of the gods, or splinters from falling stars. The Romans, always practical yet superstitious, wore them as talismans in battle, convinced they gave invincibility. Even in medieval Europe, diamonds were thought to have magical healing properties, able to cure illness, banish nightmares, and even resurrect the dead if held in the mouth. Of course, none of that is true in a medical sense, but the belief in diamonds as something beyond Earth was oddly prophetic, given what we now know about their cosmic origins. Modern science has confirmed that diamonds, like gold, are not just Earth's children. Some are literal space travelers. They tell us that the materials that make up our planet and everything on it are part of a much larger, universal recycling system. So when you look at a diamond, whether in a crown jewel or a wedding ring, remember you might be looking at a fragment of an asteroid, a relic of a destroyed protoplanet, or the crystallized carbon of ancient Earth's deepest mantle, a gemstone forged in violence, delivered by chaos and cherished for eternity. And yet, this is where the two stories of gold and diamonds converge. Both are symbols of wealth and beauty today, but their origins lie far outside the reach of humanity. They are not truly ours at all. They are gifts or perhaps remnants from forces we cannot control. Gold and diamonds, two of the most coveted materials in human history, share something in common far beyond their glitter. Both are cosmic in origin, shaped by forces older and more violent than Earth itself. Yet for most of human history, we didn't know this. We told stories instead, the myths we believed. The Egyptians called gold the flesh of the gods, believing it came from the skin of Ra, the sun god. For them, gold was literally the substance of eternity, incorruptible and unchanging, just as the gods themselves were. That's why the mask of Tutankhamun, made of solid gold, was meant to preserve the pharaoh's divine form for the afterlife. In the Vedic traditions of India, gold was seen as the seed of Agni, the fire god, hidden in the earth. Diamonds, in these same traditions, were born from lightning-striking stone divine fire captured in crystal. The Greeks had their own legends. They saw gold as the tears of Helios, the sun falling to earth. Diamonds, they claimed, were splinters from the shields of celestial warriors, broken in battles among the gods. Across Africa, the Ashanti people of Ghana told stories of gold descending from the heavens on the wings of sacred birds. In medieval Europe, alchemists obsessed over the idea that gold was the most perfect form of matter, not realizing they were chasing the remnants of dead stars. The religious perspective. When you bring religion into the story, things take a fascinating turn. Many faiths see gold and diamonds not as random cosmic products, but as deliberate creations of God. In Islam, gold and jewels are mentioned in descriptions of paradise. The Quran speaks of bracelets of gold and pearls, worn by the blessed, suggesting these materials are divine adornments, part of a perfected creation beyond our world. In Christianity, the Book of Revelation describes heaven's streets as made of pure gold, and its walls adorned with precious stones, a vision of eternal beauty, where the finest earthly materials are simply the building blocks of God's kingdom. In Judaism, gold was central to the construction of the tabernacle and the temple, representing holiness and divine craftsmanship. Diamonds, though rarer in scripture, were one of the stones set in the high priest's breastplate, symbolizing strength and purity. Science may tell us gold and diamonds arrived on Earth through meteoritic bombardment or formed under crushing mantle pressures, but to the religious, this does not diminish their divine significance. Rather, it can be seen as part of the method by which the Creator shaped the universe. The stars themselves, after all, are part of creation, the human obsession. By the time civilizations flourished, gold and diamonds were already deeply embedded in human culture. Gold's rarity, resistance to corrosion, and beauty made it the universal standard of wealth. Diamonds, with their unmatched hardness and brilliance, became symbols of unbreakable bonds, ultimate status, and divine favor. Empires rose and fell over these treasures. The Spanish conquest of the Americas was fueled by the hunt for gold. The 19th century California and Klondike gold rushes reshaped entire continents. Diamonds sparked the infamous Kimberley Rush in South Africa, leading to both fortune and exploitation. Yet few knew that the gold in a conquistador's crown or the diamond in a royal scepter might have been forged before the Earth was even born. The cosmic return. Today, with the science of astrophysics and planetary geology, we've begun to close the loop. We now know that space holds more gold and diamonds than Earth ever could. Neutron star collisions rare, catastrophic events can create vast quantities of gold, flinging it across the cosmos. In 2012, astronomers found a planet made almost entirely of carbon, where the surface may be covered in diamond. NASA has even eyed asteroids like 16 Psyche, which is believed to contain more metals, including gold, than the entire known reserves on Earth. Some speculate its value could reach 10 tollion, enough to make every human on Earth a billionaire. But here's the irony. If we ever mined that much gold, its rarity would vanish, and its value would collapse. The very thing that makes gold precious, scarcity, would be destroyed by abundance. Diamonds face a similar fate. With the rise of lab-grown diamonds, indistinguishable from natural ones, humanity has, in a way, learned to replicate the work of the cosmos. Yet, no matter how perfect the copy, there's something irreplaceable about holding a diamond that has traveled through the stars or survived billions of years buried in the Earth's mantle. The final perspective. So what does it all mean? It means that every piece of gold you've ever seen, every coin, every ring, every royal artifact, is a fragment of a dead star, delivered to our world by cosmic violence. It means that every diamond ever set into a crown or wedding ring is either a relic of Earth's deepest heart or a gem born in worlds that no longer exist. Gold and diamonds are reminders that we are connected to the universe in ways we rarely consider. They are proof that beauty, value, and rarity are not just human concepts. They are written into the fabric of cosmic history. And perhaps, just perhaps, they are also reminders that no matter how far we reach into space, we are still part of a grander creation. Whether you believe that creation is guided by physics or by God, the story remains the same. These treasures were never truly ours, we are simply their temporary keepers.